So obviously Power Rangers was a cultural phenomenon internationally, and I just wondered what your own experience was growing up. Naomi, maybe starting with you, and also how you felt on being cast.
Well, so for me, it's funny because I don't remember the shows like that vividly. I'm sure I did watch them. But one vivid memory I do have is me playing Power Rangers with my brother. Mm-hmm. So like the fact that we would like be on opposite sides of the room and we'd go Power Rangers and then we'd like run and like fight. But so it's funny that even if you didn't remember specifically the shows, like you played Power Rangers, you wanted to be a Power Ranger. So that kind of shows how iconic it actually is.
For me, I was introduced to it very young. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers came out in 93, and I was born in 97. So I was introduced a little bit later than all of my older cousins. But it was just the idea of, like, being able to be superheroes with your friends and like the colors that really like clicked with me at such a young age, and of course the action, the flipping and the kapow. But I think now you got asked how we felt about being a part of the film. I'm really glad that in this Power Rangers movie, although the names do sound familiar, you are meeting our characters for the first time. We're making this Power Ranger movie for this generation that's going to be introduced because it's real, it's relatable, and we're dealing with real 2017 teenage issues, and I felt like this is like the first time we get to dive into the stories of these kids, you know what I mean? And it's much more character driven, so that's why I was super excited.
I'm sure you were both excited to be cast yourselves, but did you have any younger family members who were particularly excited that you were going to be a Power Ranger?
I think little cousins.
I have so many of them. Oh my god! And right now, when all the promos come on TV, they're like, That's Becky! That's Becky! They like freak out. They like, and it's cute because some of them are still like too little, so they can't like put together that it's like me and that's that. So they love that, but then they look at me and they're like, I don't want to be with you. But like, you know what I mean? It's like the disconnection.
The little kids in my family are the same. They're probably just a touch young that they don't quite get it.
Like they love the Pink Power Ranger, but they're just like Auntie Naomi.
Yeah, right. So yeah.
And all superhero movies obviously need a good villain, and you've got one in Rita, played by Elizabeth Banks. How inspiring was she to be around on set, and what might you have sort of picked up from her?
She was very inspiring. I mean, you know, she's obviously very established, and she's a really great actress, and just the fact that she knows what she's doing, and she knows, you know, everything that's going on, and that was really cool to watch because as a young female actress, you kind of see and you're like, okay, that's how she works, and you can kind of see, I can, you know, I could do that, and I can.
It inspires you for sure.
It definitely does.
There's not a lot of women in this industry, and so to see someone like you said, so established, and just to take control and also still not step on anyone's toes. She was so collaborative and such a pleasure to work with. I think it was really awesome to be around her for sure.
A filmmaker as well, not just
no, exactly, and that's the thing. She's a director. She's a producer.
Well, she does it
all.
Yes.
So she really does understand the whole thing, and it was great to be on set with her.
And there still aren't enough female superheroes now, but I mean, particularly when the TV show first came out, it was one of the first to have female superheroes.
It was.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's, I think, for me and Nay was something really awesome and something so fun to play with, was our characters' relationship and how does it start and what do we want it to blossom into. And one thing we did know for sure is we wanted it to be positive, because too many times there's not women in these movies, and then when they are there's always some kind of conflict, or they're always pit against each other, or it's just one woman by herself. Only one woman can be great. Yeah. And it's like, we're great together, and not only are we great together, we're great with 3 other male leads. You know what I mean? And the message here is we're not one without the other. We're so much greater together, and it's to be diverse gender wise, and then ethnicity wise, and then as far as how wide of the issues that we're dealing with as human people. It's just so cool. It's so cool.
Anything to add on that female empowerment? I mean, we just had the Women's March, for instance, haven't we? International Women's Day earlier in the month.
Yeah, it feels like, it's funny that it feels like the time, at the moment, it feels like a good time to kind of be talking about this stuff. But
girl power.
Girl power.
It's not in a way to be too preachy, but just in a way that, you know, I think we are very deserving of, you know, when a person works really hard, they deserve, you know, what they've worked hard towards. And I feel like Naomi's somebody I can say I look up to. I actually did a Facebook Live of this movement, She Means Business, in honor of International Women's Day. And I was just talking about how a pleasure it was to have a castmate who is a woman in this industry. And you have this, like, is she going to be mean? Is she gonna like me? Like, are we gonna hate each other? What is this gonna be? And we're like sisters, we really are, and I'm very thankful for that, and I'm glad that we can share that message with all the people who watch this movie.
And I think what's interesting is the fact that actresses, usually any actress that I've worked with, I've had amazing experiences, and it hasn't been, I don't know what people think, and maybe
it's an outside
different
idea,
publications, and they try and maybe create something that's not there, because these actresses are like, yo, like, we're hanging out having a, do you know what I mean? It's not what you think it is. So
Yeah.
And the training is very fun, and when they're just finding out about their superpowers and all the jumping, I love those sequences. Tell us about the training and the physical aspect of learning the fight choreography.
I mean, we trained obviously really hard even before we started shooting. So I was training, 3 times a day. And we say this because it wasn't just an aesthetic thing. So it wasn't just, oh, you need to look a certain way. Obviously, when they become superheroes, yes, they're strong. However, it was more to do with the stamina to get through the shoot. It was for us as actors to be really strong because we had to be, because we were doing a lot of physical things. I mean, look, we're 2 girls in high school. Like, we're not Victoria's Secret models. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to. We talked about it. And
We want to represent what's real. What Trini would actually look like. Yeah.
And you didn't actually have any scenes with Brian Cranston when you were filming. I believe that was done afterwards. But
no, he was casted afterwards. Yeah. That was an ongoing process as we were filming, and actually it was like really exciting for us because when his name was brought up and we were filming, we were like, oh my god! Like, I was like, fingers crossed. I was like, I hope this happens, just because of he's oh my god, he's amazing, and not only that, the history and like the fact that Brian Cranston, like, that's why like Billy was named after Brian Cranston, basically Billy Cranston, and that whole connection and that stuff like that. So it is exciting. It's super cool.
And you're both singers and have music careers. I love the music in the film. I just wondered what your take on what was the score, that kind of 80s vibe, and then also a lot of the songs that were in it. What did you both make of the music aspect?
Because we've only seen it once, right?
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, when we watch it again,
we'll
notice the different things. But I think, right, exactly. So when we're watching it for the first time, we're just kind of like, okay, like, you're just taking it all in. But next time I watch the movie, because I've only seen it once, I'll be listening out. But the good thing is, though, I think sometimes it's good when you don't notice the music and it just goes with the feeling. I feel like it complemented
very well.
It complements really well.
No, it's used brilliantly, so particularly the score. Now, we've got a British Superman and Spider-Man, as well as what makes, why are Brits such good superheroes, do you think? And what's it like being the British Power Ranger?
Oh, I love it. I don't know. But you say that, but we're doing flipping American accents in these movies, so clearly the Brits are usually the villains, aren't they?
You guys are talented.
I mean, I don't know.
I think you guys are talented. I'm from an outside perspective. I mean, I wish I had your guys' accent, first off. I try all the time.
Sometimes.
I think you guys are very strong. That's one thing. Like, something I admire about Nay. She's very strong and very, like, very forward in a way that I admire. I appreciate people who are very honest. You know what I mean? So like when I'm like, hey girl, like check out this song, you know what I mean? She's like, yeah, you know what, but maybe with the melody, like if you tried like something like this, and I'm like, cool, great idea. You know what I mean? Like I admire people like that, and I haven't been to England yet, but I'm kind of scared because I'm like, is everyone hate me, or is that just how everyone is? Just very like forward, you know?
Yeah, no, we're just straight, aren't we? Eh?
Yeah. Becky, Naomi, congratulations again, and delight to meet you both.
Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey